Come into an easy Sukhasana seat pose, legs crossed comfortably. And if you want to bring your hands into a favorite mudra, you can bring the fingertips, the index tip to the thumb tip, and rotate the arm bones back and down and open. Feel the upper chest open or open. Feel the upper chest open. Just inhale, root the sits bones down as the crown lifts up. And exhale, soften any tension in the jaw and the face muscles. Just allow yourself time to feel the breath flowing within you to the lungs, into the fibers of the lungs, as it transports into every cell of the body through the blood. Just continue to feel kind of the vastness of the breath, as if your body is a shell, as a vacuum of air, of life. And just as this breath within you is fulfilling, still connected to the breath that surrounds you, the whole ocean of air. Now slowly turn the hands, palms down onto the knees. Slowly begin to feel the breath into subtle movements of the spine, bringing fluidity into the longest river in your body, in the spinal cord. Seated cat and cows. As you exhale, chin moves towards the chest, like an accordion. You inhale, you feel the heart open, the gaze moving upward, making it a little more pronounced. The pelvic tilt, the shoulder girdle, moving the spine. And gently pause. Rotate your left ear to the left shoulder. Slowly roll the chin to the chest. Bring your gaze back to neutral and rotate the right ear towards the right shoulder. And then gently roll the chin towards the neck, towards the chest, and then bring it back to center. Now move the fingertips to your shoulder heads. And we're going to sway right to left with breath. So inhale, right, exhale, left. And continue moving. The breath is increasing and speeding up as you move the elbows. It could be at your own pace. Just feel the spine in this twist. Continue to lengthen as the breath awakens the body. Now draw the elbows in on the exhale. Inhale, lift up and around with some shoulder rolls. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lift up together. Exhale, wide and around. Pause and then reverse. Inhale, bring it back and up, and exhale together and down. Really opening up the rib cage, moving the muscles in between the vertebra and the ribs. Good. And slowly pause. Bring your fingertips, the index and the middle fingers out wide. Feel the line from the fingertips all the way up towards the crown. Lift the left arm up and over, palm facing the sky. Bring the fingertips behind the shoulder blades. Right hand grabs the left elbow. Pull the upper arm bone back and down. Good. And take the right arm out wide. Internally rotate the arm and reach it behind the sacrum. And if a bind is available, interlace the last digits of the fingers. Good. See if you can lift the back ribs upward as you soften the front ribs down. And sink that tailbone down towards the ground. And then release the bind. Now, keeping the index and middle finger of the left hand down, the right hand rises up parallel, palm facing the sky, move across the body, up and over. Right fingertips reach between the shoulder blades, left hand comes around to the elbow. Feel that stretch, maybe pressing the forearm into the back skull. Internally rotate the left arm, bring it back and around for the bind. So can you sit tall in this bind? Using not just the bind of the fingers, but also the bind of the hand in this neck and the skull. Good. And then go ahead and release. Bring the hands back to your knees. And pause for a few breaths here. Anjali Mudra. Then move into a circle of joy. Good. Inhale, exhale, fingers come forward. Inhale, they rise up. Exhale, wrap the hands around behind you as you fold. Inhale, arms lift up. Then exhale back to center. Inhale, interlace the fingers, elbows up. Exhale, roll the palms forward. Rise them up to the sky. Inhale, exhale, release and circle sweep. The arms behind you. Interlace, inhale. Feel the arms extend out. Hands back to center. One more time. Inhale. The chin presses into the fingers. Roll forward. Inhale above. Reach up the palms to the sky. Exhale, circle sweep as you hinge forward. Interlace the opposite finger on top. Inhale, externally rotate the arms. Exhale, release. Uncross your legs. And let's move on to our back. Soles of your feet reach the ground. And tuck the fingertips underneath your mat on the side. Really grip onto them. And roll the shoulder heads back. Feel the biceps move up to the sky. We're going to move into some subtle tilts of the pelvis. So just with the breath, inhale, heart opens, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. You feel the lower lumbar into the earth as you lift the pelvis up. So very subtle. Just feel the pelvic tilt while on your back. Inhale, a little arch in the lower back. Exhale, active legs and feet. More importantly, the core and the breath. Now lift the hands above your head and Wrap the hands onto the elbows. Soften the lower ribs down towards the pelvis. Feel the shoulder blades become flat and elongated. Very subtle. And just feel the stillness and the comfort of the spine in this pose. No place to be, no place to go. Take the left leg up towards the sky and the right follows to meet it. And let the weight of gravity of the legs root the femur bones right down into the pelvis. Expand the webbings of the toes. Bring the palms of the hands near the side, hips. And even though the arms are internally rotated, the shoulders are externally rotated down. Extend the back ankles a little higher as the back hamstrings are lengthening. Slowly lower the left leg straight. Interlace the hands behind the right thigh. Again, let the arms elongate and the biceps rotate upward. Interlace the hands onto the shin on the right leg, and then switch. As you interlace the hands behind the left thigh, mindfully press the left hip forward into the hands. You can hover the right leg off the ground. Bend the left knee, interlace the hands on the shin, and with the bind, just keep pressing the left thigh back and the right thigh down. Bring hands onto both knees into your chest, arms out wide, and slowly rotate the knees over to the left. Gaze moves to the right. Continue to breathe, feeling the twist into the lower abdomen. You can extend the left leg forward for a bind. And lengthen the right hip away from the crown. Now exchange hands. Bring the peace fingers of the right hand into the right toes. Left leg can go extend straight. And bring the back ankle and the left thigh, bottom of the thigh, towards the ground. Just keep it active, trying to create a little space in the lower back. Release the right foot, bring the knees back to center, lift the feet off the ground and extend the knees over to the right. So the chin can draw down towards the left shoulder. Good. If you want to straighten the left leg if it's available, interlace the index and the middle finger around the left big toe. So with this bind, feel the left hip elongate away from the crown. Extend the left leg, exchange the hands. Create a bind. You can leave the right sole of the foot on the ground. This is difficult. And then slowly open up the gate on the left leg. You want to extend the right leg forward, you're more than welcome. Keep pressing that right thigh down and the left hip away to the back of the room. Good. I'll bring the left leg back up to the sky and release it down forward. Scoot both feet in towards the sits bones. And wrap the forearms in a bind around the shins. Draw the chin to the chest. Create a little ball and rock and roll up into boat pose, Navasana. Elongate the spine, active fingers, active feet, and active core. Draw the knees into the chest. Cross them. Root the hands down, step back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Press the heels towards the ground as the hip bones lift up and back. Sternally rotate the arm bones as if they're shrink wrapping around the rib cage. Maybe there's this elongation of the lower back as you root the hands down into the L's of the fingers. Good. Step the left foot forward, lower the right knee down, and walk the hands up to the left knee. In this pose, just trying to stretch the right calf, step the right foot forward, fold, and let the spine spill out of the hips as you relax, and then move up into halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, and your knees rise up, hands extend up to the sky, mountain pose, hands to heart center. Back up into mountain pose. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands root down, step the left foot back, lower the knee down, walk them up to the right knee. Set a good quad stretch in the back leg. Root the tailbone down as you rise up through the crown. Very subtle and gentle. No sudden movements. Curl the left toes under, step back into plank pose. Feet active, hands, shoulders, core. Low plank, lower all the way through the plank. Flip the tops of your feet, root them down as you move up into baby cobra. The elbows hug in, gaze to the front of your mat. Curl the toes under and press into child's pose. Extend the hands forward a little more and lift the hips up and move into an embryo pose. Kind of like a half child's pose. Walk the hands over to the right hand side. Good. As the sit bones root closer down to the heels. Now walk the hands over to the left hand side. Lateral bend. Maybe you can feel the right hand all the way down into the right groin. All the way back down into child's pose. No forehead to just melt into the mat. Lift back up, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Lift the heels up, bring them closer together, and then roll into the knife edge of the right foot. Make your way back to center. Ankles glued together as you roll into the knife edge of the left foot. Keep the hands, shoulders square. Lift the right heel up, step it forward, lower the left knee down. Rise up into a low lunge. Fingers extend up to the sky. Hands to the front of your mat. Lift the back leg forward, fold. Interlace the hands around the calves into the fingers onto the shins. So press the calves forward as you extend the hamstrings backward and upward. Fingers to the front of your mat, halfway lift. Good. Bend your knees, rise up, mountain pose. Hands to heart center, forward fold. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Step the right foot way back and slow as you bend the front left leg. Lower the right knee down. Walk the hands up to the knee. See if you can isometrically hug the feet together as you lift the hands up to the sky. Lower the front ribs down and lengthen the back ribs for a slight back bend. Hands to your mat. Step the left foot back into plank. Chaturanga, low plank. Through to all the way down to the abdomen. Prone pose. Bring your arms into cactus. Keep the hands down. Lift up the feet. Now lift up the hands. Good. Elbows, shoulders, height, wide, hands active. And then lower all the way down. Extend the arms out wide. Roll into the left L of the hand. The right leg comes up and over. Right hand walks into the chest. And just feel the elongation of the left shoulder. See if you can externally rotate that left shoulder. Draw the right shoulder back if you want a deeper stretch. Good. Right collarbones are opening. Bring the right leg back and extend the right arm out wide. Draw the left fingertips inward. Shoulder roll on the right hand side. And soften the face muscles. Soften the jaw. Just allow the head to totally relax and dissolve. Just notice if you want to clench in this pose. So the whole right side of the face and shoulder and neck are just allowing gravity to help you release. Bring yourself back to prone, back to center. Move the forearms forward in the Sphinx pose. Now thread the right arm under the left one forward. So we're going to start out with the chin pressing down into the triceps of the right arm. Now hug that left shoulder into the body. Good. As the left palm becomes weighted. Now we're going to thread the left arm under for the crisscross. And let the left cheek just soften into the left arm. See if you can draw that left shoulder downward, not being so hiked up. Just give yourself time in this place, and just give yourself time in this pose. Uncross the arms, bring yourself back to Sphinx. Good. Shoulder heads back and down. Now thread the left arm under and gently squeeze the chin into the left bicep. Right hand stays forward for the part one of this pose. And as the chin is squeezing down, and in the same direction, that shoulder is hugging down as well. It may not even be noticeable as far as visually. Sometimes it's just in the activation of things. I bring the right arm under into the crisscross and soften the right cheek into the arm. This pose is less about activation, even though you might encourage something to be in a specific direction. Maybe the top ankles could soften a little more. Notice if the feet are sickling out wide or if they elongated straight. It's not necessarily how close you get the top ankle to the ground, but more about feeling the stretch in the pose into the integrity of alignment. Bring your hands back to side ribs, press up and back into downward facing dog. Good. So feel the biceps, the arm bones externally rotate, gaze forward, bend your knees, step, hop, float to the front of your mat, halfway lift, inhale, forward fold. Utkatasana chair pose. So sit the hips further back than you want to. Notice if the knees are over the ankles or over the toes. Bring the arms into cactus. Feel the spine elongate. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Bring the forehead towards the shins. Lift the right heel up, standing split. Try to soften the spine as the right heel rises up a little further. Walk the left hand onto the left ankle. Just feel the forearm press that calf forward, deepening the standing split. Start rolling the left hip up. Step back into plank. Low plank. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Just breathe here for a moment. Couple more breaths. Lift the right heel up. Step it through. Warrior one. Good. Let's draw the knee right over the ankle. Externally rotate the front thigh as you internally rotate the back thigh. Just feel the crown lengthen tall. Open up the heart, hands to the front of the mat. Step back into plank. Upward facing dog. Roll into downward facing dog. So press the heels down, lift them up in the knees, step up, float. Front of your mat. Good. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Step the left foot back. Standing split. Really feel the palms rooting down as if you're going to lift back up. Left hand comes around, drawing the forehead towards the shin, pressing the calf and the shin towards the forehead. Hands back into handstand position. Lift the heel as if you're going to lift up. Try that again. And then reach way back for the left foot. Rise and step the right foot back into plank. Low plank. Hang out into upward facing dog for an extra breath. And vinyasa, right? Whatever feels good. Step the left foot up and forward, warrior one. Yeah, so draw the left knee over the ankle. So to get the hips a little more mobility, we want to externally rotate the left thigh. So it gives you more access and comfort standing in warrior one. The left inner thigh pulls back and around. So you root down the knife edge of the back foot. Hands to the mat, step back and flow. Your flow, vinyasa. Whatever's feeling right for you. Draw back into downward facing dog. Lift the heels up, gaze forward, step, float, do your thing. Yeah, forward fold. Rise up into chair pose. Inhale, tall, exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Step, float back. Plank, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right heel rises up. Step it through. Warrior one. Hands extend to the sky. Good. Open up into warrior two. So we're stretching, opening the front thigh. And the back thigh is kind of pulling back and hugging in at the same time. So there's no real rotation in that back leg. Maybe extend the heels a little further out than the toes of the back leg. Keep the fingers, the hands, the wrists, the arms as if they're in a line. And reverse warrior. Palm reaches up to the sky. Left hand reaches down towards the shin. Inhale, gaze. Exhale, back to warrior two. Virabhadrasana two. Straighten the right leg and extend as you pull back on the right hip point. Hand reaches down on the inner shin or outer shin, whatever feels good. Externally rotate the right shoulder back and down, no matter if the hand is facing forward or back. If there's access to the big toes, reach the peace fingers around towards it. So feel the external rotation of the front leg and thigh and the rotation of the torso. Hands reach the mat, lizard pose. Step the right leg back and chaturanga, upward dog, and downward facing dog. Left heel rises up, hips parallel, step it through for warrior one. So hips move parallel towards the front wall, and in transition move to warrior two. The heels can be stacked in a line. Feel the shoulders soften down. A couple more breaths here. Just feel the left thigh opening up. Reverse the warrior. Right hand reaches down, left hand comes up. See if that left knee can stay right over the ankle. Good. Back to warrior two. So the shoulders in line with the hips. Straighten the left leg, and from the left hip point pulling back, reach forward, lengthen the left underneath torso. If you can reach for the left big toe, create a bind. And so there's this external rotation of the front thigh as the torso rotates, spirals away from the thigh. Hands move into the inner sides of the left foot, step back, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Right heel rises up, step it forward, knee to nose. Inhale back up. Draw the knee to the right elbow. If you can get a little flight, go forward. Inhale back up. Bring it to the opposite elbow. Rise up into fallen angel. Option to keep the foot lifted, or you can lower it down. And then lower the chest all the way down for reclined fallen angel. Just feel the ultimate twist here. Hands by the side ribs. If you want to turn the gaze outward away from the extended leg. Now curl the left toes under, rise back up strong, knee to elbow, and flip into side plank, Vasisthasana. Left hand down. If you want to go for the bind, that's great. And play and have fun. Release the bind, feet stack, back to plank, and vinyasa. Your flow. Curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Left heel rises up, knee to nose. Inhale. Left knee goes to left elbow. You want to get a little flight, go forward. Back up. Knee goes across the body. Pause. Rise up. Fallen angel. You want to keep the left foot lifted. More than welcome to. You can keep it on the ground and make it more of an opening pose. Now bring both hands down to the ground and just lower supine. Turn the face towards the left. Just enjoy this deep twist. Hands back to the side ribs. Curl the right toes under. Good. Press up strong. Knee to elbow. And then side plank, your version. Maybe extend the leg up. These fingers around the big toes. Whatever version works for you. And then vinyasa, high to low plank. You can go straight into down dog if you like. Good. Right heel rises up. Step it through. Crescent lunge. So tight as light. Lift that back heel up. Good. Hinge forward, feeling the engagement as you twist. Draw the left shoulder down towards the left heel. And if you can, lift back up and move into twisting half moon. Adduct the left thigh inward and feel that external rotation of the right thigh. Yeah. Right hand comes back down, open up into half moon. Same thing here. So it's all in the engagement of the lifted hand and the lifted heel. So the more activation you can, drawing into center line. You can feel the weight lift up on the right fingertips. Good. And slowly, if you have access, you can always try to bring the right hand to the right ankle. Good. And slowly lower the left foot down. Extended side ankle. Draw draw the right knee into the elbow, over the ankle. Hands reach to the front of your mat, step back. And vinyasa. You can always skip vinyasa and just move right into down dog. 3 breaths here. Left heel rises up. 3-legged dog, hips square, and step it forward. Nice and slow, controlled crescent lunge. Hands to heart center, hinge forward, right elbow cuts across, twisting lunge. Twisting lunge. You're going to fly your wings. Activity in the fingertips, in the palms, into the distal points of the extremities. And lift up, a twisting half moon. So the lifted leg and arm are active, adducting in. The crown is lengthening headward. The heel is lengthening tailward. The weight is lifting off of the right fingertips. And then switch sides. Left fingers down, right fingers rise up. So the standing leg is active, externally rotating the leg. And if there's enough activation to lift the weight off the left fingertips, maybe it can move towards the ankle. Good. And slowly lower the right heel down into extended side angle. And use the bind of the knee and the elbow to really start maneuvering the front thigh outward, the torso. Hands move to the front of the mat, step back into plank. In your flow, high plank, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Lift the right heel up, step it through, lizard pose. So the hands move to the inside of the right foot. Just feel the torso lengthen, active back leg. Maybe the left pinky toe can lift up off the mat. Yeah. Just spend time in here. Externally rotate the front thigh. Lower the left knee down. Walk the forearms to the ground. Below lizard. A lot of versions you can do here. You can bring the right shoulder around and maybe lift up the right leg. Move into a flying lizard. Yeah, good. Peace fingers wrap around the big toe. Root down the left hand. Rise back up into side plank. Good. Play around. And slowly come back down. Shift the weight and step into Malasana squat. And with the bind of the hands in the triceps, the knees squeeze in. Elongate the spine away from the tailbone, sinks down. The crown rises up. Move the hands to the front of the mat. a crane pose, a crow pose. Step back, jump back, and vinyasa. Left heel rises up and step it forward and through. Good for lizard. You can create a bind with the left knee and the left shoulder. You can also move to recline lizard if you want to walk down to your forearms. Lower the right knee down. Roll into the knife edge of the left foot, giving you more of a half pigeon type of stretch. Left shoulder hugs in underneath the left knee. Flying lizard if it's in your practice, or if you want to try, swing the leg around, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Bend your knees, gaze forward, step, float, jump into crow, step the right leg back, lizard pose. Step the right leg back. Bring the peace finger into the Vasisthasana, extended leg, and then back forward to the left side. Good. Step back into plank, low plank, upward facing dog. Inhale, and downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Gaze forward, step and float in front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, and then lift into chair pose. Utkatasana. Sit a little deeper, power chair, or all the way down. Bring the knees into the underarms and do toe taps onto the wrist. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes into a bind Navasana. Cross the feet and roll back into a resting pose, bridge rest. Now find the placement of the feet. Root them down. Let the collarbones open. Soles of your feet come together, knees out wide. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Supta Baddha Konasana. Just feel the rise and the fall of the hands. Draw the knees back together. Lift the feet up to the sky and go wide, extending the heels, the back ankles as the toes move towards the hip bones. Feel the external rotation of both legs as the heels come out. Draw the ankles back together. Create little circles with the feet and the legs. Help massaging the lower back. And in reverse directions. You can tighten up the circles. They don't have to be super big. Make them smaller and smaller, or you can make them bigger and bigger, creating like little number 8s with the feet. Bring the feet back down to the ground and bring the fingers behind you and lift up into wheel pose. So keep the feet pointing backwards. Shift the weight into the right foot as you lift the left foot up and lower back down. Switch sides and lower and lower back down. If you want to move into constructive rest pose, you can. Heels out wide, toes to touch. Now move into shoulder stand. Elbows magnetize towards each other. Draw the chin away from the chest. Activate the feet. And see if you can tuck those shoulder heads under. Keeping the feet strong, active. Feel that lengthening upward of the torso. Rotating externally the upper arm bones as the elbows maybe get closer. Lower the toes behind you for plow pose. And then slowly roll out one vertebra at a time into your final Shavasana. Spend as much time as you like in this pose. Let all the limbs soften, fully release onto the mat. Make your final adjustments as necessary. And begin wiggling your fingers, your toes, your wrists, your ankles. Inhale and then exhale. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And then roll the knees over onto one side, onto your right hand side. Into fetal position. Give yourself a few moments here to really digest the practice. Honor your body. Give yourself some gratitude for doing the work and to purifying yourself, knowing that this work and this practice that you do, it's not only a benefit to you and yourself and family that surrounds you, but really it's a benefit to the people all around. Bring your legs into easy C pose. Rise back up. Bring your hands back into heart center. Inhale and exhale. Feel the heart of the world Engulf your center. I hope you enjoyed this practice. Inhale, hands to heart center. And side out. Lighting the others to lighting you. Namaste.